So the first set of operation that we're going to perform is called arithmetic operation. What does arithmetic means?
Addition, subtraction.
Right. So yes. So
Multiplication.
Correct. Let's see if I put a value 1 equal to 6 and value 2 equal to 4. Okay. Now I can perform addition. Value 1 plus value 2. Right. So what will I get here?
10.
10. What will I get here now?
2.
6 minus 4 is 2. What will I get here?
24.
6 into 4, 24. Now, what will I get here?
3 by 1.5.
Okay, 6 by 4. No, no. Why? 1.5 is not integer value.
Float, sorry.
Float value. Yes.
Yes.
1.5. Okay. So we can run it and see. I'm going to click here and you see 10, 2, 4, 24, 1.5. Okay. We have few more. First one we'll talk about is double star. Double star is like power. So if I say val 1 double star val 2, it means 6 to the power 4. 6 to the power 4. So it will be 6 into 6 into 6 into 6, 36 into 36. Okay.
900.
1296. Okay.
Yes.
We can check with smaller number. Okay. So let's say I put 6 star 3. In this case, I'm saying 6 to the power 3, 6 cube. 36 into 6. 216.
216.
Right? So, so star means power. Now we have percentage modulo. Okay, it's called modulo.
Okay.
What does modulo means? Remainder. We want remainder. So if you divide 6 by 4, what is remainder?
2.
2.
Yes.
Question here, guys. When you divide 6 by 4, so 4 1s are 4 and you have 2. Since 2 is less than 4, we stop there. We don't proceed. So 2 is the remainder. Okay. And then you have something called as integer division. Or integer division. Okay. 6 by 4. 6 divided by 4. Okay. When you get the integer, what is the quotient then? 1. Okay. Basically, when you divide, we ignore the float part.
Yes.
So when you divide, when you do single divide, the output you get is float. Even if I say 6 by 3, answer would be 2.0. That is your single division. Double division means it's a integer part. Okay. So when I divide, I'll get only the integer part. So the data type of this output is integer. Yes.
So sir, could you explain the modulo again, please?
Modulo is remainder. Okay, so let me do it. Sorry, I thought I'm typing it here now. Okay, so let's say I have 4 here. Get a little bold. So I have 4 here, right? And I want to divide 6 by 4. So here 6 1 jet, right? What you get here 2, right? You can't divide any further, isn't it? So this is your modulo. Okay, and this is your
integer division.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Punit?
Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry. I didn't realize I was on mute.
Okay. So that's what it is. So these are all your arithmetic operation. Next, we'll talk about what is called as comparison operator. Okay. This is how we compare two different values. Okay, we would like to check if value is greater or smaller. Okay, and so the input here would be, so see, for arithmetic, input could be integer or float, right? And output could be integer or float. Same here, okay? The input could be integer or float, but output will not be integer or float, but output will be your Boolean values, true or false. Okay? So let's say I put value 1 as 30 and value 2 as 50. Now I want to print value 1 greater than value 2. Right? It's like asking a question. Is value 1 greater than value 2? Is value 1 greater than value 2? Okay, this is how this means. So is value 1 greater than value 2?
No.
Now that is false. So when you run it, you will get false as the output.
Okay.
Okay.
So it will take the decision and print the result.
Yes. And result is either true or false.
Boolean.
Boolean. Yes. The output is here Boolean. So greater than value 1, is it greater than? Similarly, you can check for greater than, equal to. So say, is value 1 greater than or equal to? Okay. So I mean, you have to put equal to here. Okay. Similarly, you have less than. Is value 1 less than value 2? What's your answer?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You will have values. This is like asking a question. Okay. Equal to. See, so far we have seen equal to, single equal to sign. Single equal to means assign the value. So whatever is on the right side, that is assigned to the variable which is on the left side. Okay. So assignment means whatever is the right side assigned to the left side. Okay. So 30 is getting into value 1. Okay. But here double equal to means you're asking a question.
Are they equal or not?
Yes. Is value 1 equal to value 2? Okay. Is value 1 equal to value 2? Similarly, you have not equal to. Value 1 exclamation mark equal to. Is value 1 not equal to value 2? So what is the output here?
True.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, 30 is not equal to 50. It is true. Okay, so these are your basic, and then you can even check. Let's say I gave, okay. Now I can even say val 1 comma val 2 equal to 30 comma 50. Okay, this is another way of writing assigning. Okay, multiple values can be assigned in same line. This is not in another language.
Okay.
So that language means C++, Java.
Yes.
You can assign multiple values in same line. You can say value 1 comma value 2 equal to 30 comma 40. So it does left to right mapping. Value 1 becomes 30, value 2 becomes 50. You can even say val 1, okay, equal to 40 semicolon val 2 equal to 40. So these are like two different lines. Okay, these are
Yes.
like two different lines. Semicolon means it's, it's a separator for line. Okay, when you are hitting enter, then you don't have to see, you can give semicolon here as well. Okay, when you are putting in two different line, then it doesn't matter. Okay? When you are hitting enter, it doesn't, semicolon is not mandatory, not required. But when you put them together in one single line, to differentiate, you have to put semicolon. So this is another way of putting the
Semicolon or comma?
No. Semicolon only.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. Semicolon is to differentiate two different lines.
Okay.
Okay. So you can give semicolon or hit enter, right? You can hit enter to put them in different line, or you can put semicolon and put them in one single line. Okay. So here value 1 is also 40, value 2 is also 40. Now I'm asking, is value 1 greater than or equal to value 2? Is it true or false?
True.
Yes, value 1 is not greater, but it is equal.
Equal to.
Second, any condition, if one of these thing is true, it will be true. Because in this case, yes, value 1, okay,
Equals to value 2.
exactly. Let me copy this and paste it here. Less than equal to. So is value 1 less than equal to value 2?
Equal to. So
So
true.
this will also be true.
Yes.
Is value 1 equal to value 2? Yes.
Yes.
This will be false. So false, true, true, true. Yes, clear? This is what we call as comparison operator. You're checking the values are greater or smaller, or they're equal or not equal. Okay. Similarly,
Yes, sir.
okay. Okay. So this is your comparison operator. The next operation that we're going to talk about is called as logical operation. Operators and operation. So see the sign that performs. Okay, so if you talk about addition is the operation. You're performing addition as operation. The plus sign is an operator. So when you put plus operator, it means we are doing addition. When you put minus sign, okay, sign is the operator, and the process that you perform is operation, right? So logical operators are your and or not, okay, and the operation that we perform is called logical operation. Okay, so logical operation is everything. Operator is just the sign using which we perform. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Great. So let's look at, okay, before we get into this, let's talk more about this. See, when you have multiple condition statements, okay, let's say I have one statement, okay, statement 1, and I have statement 2. Okay, now whatever I said here became true, and whatever I told here, okay, what I predicted or said is false. Now if I say statement 1 and statement 2, when I say I am going to school and I'll be eating biryani today, I am going to office and I'm going to eat biryani. So I'm making two statements. I am going to office and I am going to eat. But let's say I went to school or office but didn't eat biryani. So my prediction or what I said is wrong. And means even one condition becomes false, entire thing becomes false.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. I'm talking about going to office. I'm talking about having biryani in lunch, but I didn't have biryani. So whatever I said, even going to office becomes false. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if I have statement 1 and statement 2 here, okay, and if I put or, I'm going to say I am going to office or I will have biryani in the lunch. So even if one statement is
Is
true,
correct. Output will be true.
Okay.
Yes.
Even if one false, total result is
False.
false. In or, okay, even if one true, total result is true. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
if you have, say, statement A and statement B, okay, so let's see the result of and let's see the result of or. True and true. True and true will be true, and or will also be true.
True.
Okay. If both statements are true, even then it will be true. Now, if it is false and false,
And will be false.
also be false, and this
Or
will
also false.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Entire thing will be false. If we have false here and true here, and will be false.
False.
But
True.
true and false will be false, but this will be true.
True.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's how the logical operation works. Okay, we'll demonstrate using Python program. Give me a few seconds. Let's say I have true and false, or true and true, or true and false, or true and false. What do you think the total output would be?
True and false, or true and true, true and false, and
Okay.
false or true.
As per the BODMAS rule, okay, first you have to perform and, then or. Okay, just like in mathematics, let's say if I have 3 plus 5 minus 4 into 2 plus 3, okay, you don't say 3 plus 5, 8.
Will be false, right?
No, hold on. So when you have this example here, you don't start with 3 plus 5, 8, right? First, you look for division or multiplication, isn't it? First,
Yes,
division
sir.
or multiplication to perform.
Division, multiplication.
Yes, so in this case, this will be the first one to be done, right? 4 into
Yes.
2 is 8. Now you talk about
Addition.
plus. So 3 plus 5, 8. And 8 minus 8, 0. 0 plus 3, 3. So similarly, if you have true and, and or, first you have to perform and, then or. Okay. So what do you think the output will be?
And false is false.
Try on paper first.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting false.
Getting false. Let's try. Okay. So first we have to perform and, right? So true and false, what do you get?
I'm getting false, sir.
Okay.
Total.
So let's try. Let's try solving
Yeah.
it.
Yes, sir.
True and false. What do you get?
False.
True and false. Okay. Then and is here. True and true.
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 Then you have here true and false.
False.
Okay, you have again and here false and false.
False.
Okay, here you have true and false. True and false.
False. So
Okay.
final output will be true.
Fine. False or false.
False.
Okay. False or true.
True.
True or true.
True.
Let's run it and see. Okay. It is true only, not false.
Okay. So first execution will be all ends and then all ors.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. This is how your and or works. So let's try one more example. I'm going to say val 1 equal to 50, val 2 equal to 50, and val 3 equal to 60. Okay, equal to. Now I will say val 1, val 2, val 3. Okay. So I'm going to say equal to less than equal to
So it's val 3 or val.
And sir, for this one, doesn't the val 3 and the val 1, the double equal to have a space in between?
doesn't matter. Suppose I've given you, doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter. Okay.
Space, okay, because it's good for our eyes, right? Good to read, easy to read, but
Yeah.
Python can read it without space. Okay, so for Python it doesn't matter. Okay,
Okay.
tell me what will be the output of this. Written paper and tell me.
Sir, here we are actually comparing, right? So finally, for each and every set, we'll get true or false. But where are we performing AND or operations between them?
Good question. So I did it wrong. Okay, so
Okay.
and I will say and I will say or and I think now it's correct. Sorry, I got carried away.
True, sir.
Let's try. Is val 1 equal to val 2?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
sir.
also getting true, sir.
Okay. Most of the time, okay, because even one value is true, right? Or will make it true, right? So yeah, most of the time we'll get true, but yes, sometimes we get false also. Let's try to solve it. Is val 1 equal to val 2?
Yes, true.
Is val 3 equal to val 1?
No, false.
Is val 2 less than val 3?
Yes, true.
Is val 1 equal to val 2?
True.
Or is val 3 greater than val 2?
True.
Okay, now you perform AND. F and F,
T and F. F.
T and T,
T.
F or T,
T.
T or T,
T.
Okay, so you get true only. That's how logical operator is performed. So we have done logical comparison and we have done arithmetic. So yes. Now printing, right? So let's talk about, like, okay, let's say I have an example here. I'm saying quality, or let's say quantity, not quantity. Quantity equal to 100 and the price, okay, equal to 10 and total cost equal to quantity into price. Okay, so now I can print a statement saying the total cost of quantity pens, okay, of each costing price is equal to total cost. Okay, let's run this and see what I meant. Total cost of 100 pence of each costing 10 is equal to 1000, right? So see here, I want this text to be as it is. So I gave in a quote. I want the quantity to be taking this value, right? So tomorrow if I change to 110, I don't have to make any changes. Automatically, everything will be taken care of, right? So I'm saying total cost of quantity, pence of each costing 10 is equal to 1100, right? So you can have any number of text, comma, value, comma, text, comma, value, comma, text, comma, value, no problem. But this can become little lengthy. So what we do here, we use what is called as format string, F string. Okay, so if this is what I want to print, I will copy this entire thing. Okay, and I'll say print. First, I'll put this entire thing. Okay, this is what I want the output to be. Then I'll put F before quotation. Then here I'll go and I will put the variable in flower bracket. I need to use flower bracket. So I'll say quantity inside the flower bracket. Quantity. Total cost of quantity, pence of each costing 10. Here I need price is equal to, okay,
Total cost.
I'm going to say here, isn't it this one better and easier than this?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, so this is one way of formatting your output. Okay, you get same exact output.
Okay.
But this is easier, better, simpler way than that.
So there in this F is placed inside the brackets, no, sir?
No. Oh, sorry. What I'm saying. Yes, it has to place inside the bracket because what is the syntax of print? Syntax of function. Syntax of function means function name and bracket. So everything has to be inside the bracket. That's what function means. You cannot put F before. If you put F before, it becomes printf. It becomes a different variable.
Yeah.
If printf is there, it will do it. If printf is not, it will say printf not found or not defined, isn't it? So that's the print and bracket is the syntax of function. You cannot play with that.
Okay.
Inside bracket, yes, and F is outside quotation.
Okay. And there shouldn't be any gaps between bracket and F, or there can be?
Bracket and F. No, bracket and F, it can be.
Okay.
Okay, that's not a problem. You can have space. That's not at all a problem. Problem could be, what if you put bracket, space between F and quotation? There's this problem here because you see there's a,
Okay.
this. So here you cannot give space
Okay, sir.
because F quotation is your F string.
Okay.
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 Now write a program. Okay. And I want you to use F string as output. So write a program to input length and breadth, not breadth, of a rectangle. I want write a program to input length and breadth of a rectangle and calculate area and perimeter and display as the rectangle of length 50 and breadth 75 is whatever, right? The rectangle of length and breadth, rectangle length and breadth 50 has an area of and perimeter of. Okay, this is what I want the output to be. Let's do it quickly.
Sir, then length and breadth already we are defining it, right?
I'm asking to calculate area and
Perimeter. Okay, like here we are already defining this length and breadth, so we need not input, no, sir.
I want you to input. This is the output. Okay, this is how the output should be, but I want you to input. No.
Okay.
I'm telling you to input means you have to input, isn't it?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So can I share my screen and show you?
No, you tell me.
Oh, okay. So I got the rectangle
No,
of length.
you can see my screen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So just compare and tell me if you have done it this way or not. If you haven't done it, modify it. Okay.
So for perimeter, I just did length plus breadth plus length plus breadth.
Right. Isn't it this better than?
Yeah. Yes, 2 into length plus breadth. Yes, sir.
Shorter, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
There within flower brackets length. Flower brackets breadth. Area within flower brackets. Perimeter within flower brackets.
Okay. Now you see. In my case, you see. Okay, let's run it and see first. Okay. So this is how you get, right? Now, if you see here, this line has become too big for me, right?
Yeah.
So what you can do is, you can hit enter here. See, so when I hit enter, PyCharm has done the trick.
Okay.
See what it has done? It has closed the quotation, right?
Yeah.
And bracket is not added. Instead, open quotation and next line is printed here. So this is how you can break print statement or any statement for that matter, even your string, okay, into multiple lines like this.
Okay.
Output will not have any effect. Output will be same. Okay, just that we want, it's too lengthy. It will be difficult for you to scroll back and forth, isn't it? So this is how you break it into multiple lines. If I want to put perimeter here, let's say I can put and perimeter here. So quotation begin, text, quotation end, no bracket close, again quotation, 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 and when you are done, you put bracket. It means that all these are in same line. Okay. Okay. Now let's say.
Can this be considered as implicit conversion, sir?
What are you converting here?
Like it is automatically breaking and placing this
What is conversion means?
changing from one value to the other. One data
value
type to other.
One data type to another.
Yes.
Which data type are you changing here?
Okay. As there is no change in data type, it is not conversion.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now let's say I want to. So okay, this is how you break bigger line into smaller. I mean, into multiple lines without having impact on the final
output.
Now let's say I want to print. Okay, input value in output also I want to put it in multiple lines. Okay, so I can do /n here. Slash small n backslash. Okay, this is called backslash. /n. Okay, will break into 2 lines. So now if I run it, so see I give has space, right? So has /n, it has printed in the new line.
Yes, sir.
Right? So you're breaking it into 2 different lines.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, let's say I put print hello and I say print welcome. Now, when I run it, when you have print in different line, by default, the output gets printed in 2 different lines. By default, output got printed in 2 different lines, isn't it? Hello is in one line and welcome is in one line, even though I did not give new line /n. So whenever you do print, okay, it always prints in new line. So print has an inbuilt new line. Print has inbuilt new line. We don't have to specifically mention new line. Okay, if you like print here has an implicit or automatically it has created a new line. Implicitly it has created a new line. By itself it has created a new line. We have not told print to do it. But let's say I want to print hello and welcome in the same line. Okay, but I want to use 2 different print statement. I want to use 2 different print statement. Okay, but I want the output to be in same line. In this case, what happens is your print, okay, that invisible new line, I said, right? Every print has a new line which we don't see, right? It is invisible. We have to first make it visible and then delete it, right? It's like Mr. India, it got disappeared. So first you have to make it appear, right? You have to throw red light on it. It will appear once you have red light. I don't know if you have watched the movie or not, but that's okay. The person gets disappeared, and if you have red light only, that person can be seen. You can't see without red light, any other light. So first you have to make it visible. If you want to capture it, you want to punish him, you only first have to make it visible, isn't it? And then you do whatever you want to do. So there's something called as end, END, which is written outside the quotation, END equal to. This is how you make the new line visible. So, okay, end equal to new line. This is what is the actual thing which is automatically added without our knowledge. Automatically added without our knowledge. This is what happens. So, this is like throwing red light on it. Now this has appeared. See, it has appeared. Now, if I want to print them in the same line with a space, I'll say space, and you see the output will be in the same line. Welcome, hello, space, welcome. Okay.
Yes,
so when we are giving end equals to with double quotes, nothing in between, it is actually submerging 2 lines into 1 line.
Nothing. See, nothing in between means what? I'm giving space, is printing space. If you don't give space, it will not give space.
Okay. Okay.
But sir, instead of going through all of that hassle, we can just put the hello and welcome together, right? Instead of writing
No,
that.
my requirement is that it has to be in different line, and we'll do an example, and you can see actually later.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So okay, this is what I want to talk about. Now we'll move. We'll go to a next level. Okay. Now, so far, we have seen programs which executed sequentially. Okay, line 1, line 2, 3, 4, 5, so on, right? And we wanted it to be like that, so it executed like this. But now I want to control the values that needs to be printed. For example, in school and colleges, right? Based on your marks, you are assigned a grade, isn't it? You are assigned a grade. Okay. So let's say if let's say, you know, let me write here. So let's say if your average is okay greater than 80, let's say you get grade A. Okay, I'm going to call it as greater than equal to. If your average is greater than equal to 60, you get grade B. If your average is greater than equal to 40, you get grade C. If your average is okay less than 40, right, you get grade D. Okay, let's say this is the scenario: grade A, grade B, grade C, grade D. Okay, now if I print grade A, okay, because see, somehow I have to print all the 4 grades, isn't it? Because you will have student with all these grades. We'll have student, some student will have A, some will have B, some will have C, some will have D. So I have to print all this. But now if I run, right, all 4 grades will be printed, isn't it? But that's not what we want. We want only one of these to be printed. Based on what? Based on a condition. What's the condition? That average condition. Let's say you calculate average. Okay, so let's say I'm going to talk about total marks. Okay, total marks is, let's say you obtain 60 plus 50 plus 75 plus 45 plus 85. Okay, let's say this is total marks, and average you can calculate as total marks by what? How do you calculate average?
By 5.
By 5 subjects. Okay, now depending upon the average value, one of these 4 statements should be printed, not all 4, but one of these based on the average value. Okay, let's print average. Okay, so I'm going to say average equal to average. So what's the average value? Average value is 63. So in this case, it should be printed what? Grade B. Okay, 1 second. So you have to print grade B here, isn't it? Grade B. Okay, not grade A or C or D. Right? So what do? I have to check for a condition. Before printing, we have to check for a condition. And that's what we do using if and condition. Yes? Okay. I need to check the condition, and based on that only one of the statement needs to be printed. So we have if is the keyword, and then the condition. That's what we learned, the condition. If average, okay, greater than equal to 80. So if condition is true, it will go inside if. If condition is false, it will not go inside if. Okay. So let's do. We'll slowly come here and do it. Let's look at one option. So let's say if okay, slowly we'll build that complexity. So if average is greater than equal to 60, we want to print congratulations. Okay, otherwise we don't want to print congratulations. So if AVG greater than equal to 60, I'll say print congratulations. Okay, so see here, if condition, and if this condition is true, it will go inside if. But how will Python know what is inside if? So what it says is, here in this case, you will give some space. Now, if I write print from beginning, okay, if I write print from beginning, doesn't mean that it is inside if, it means it is outside along with if. Okay, I have to give at least one space. I have to give at least one space. If you give at least one space, that's when it means this print statement is inside if. Okay, I can give one more statement. Print I am inside if. Now, if I print here at same level, it means this print is outside if. Inside if means the P should be inside of I. Cannot be at same level. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
In Word document, that's how we do, right? Bullet point, sub bullet point. Right? So if you put inside main bullet, that means this is not same as main bullet, but this is inside, so it becomes sub bullet. Right? So if entire thing is main section, this becomes subsection. Subsection. So if needs its own section. So this is the first thing that we are learning here. First concept which needs its own subsection. Which needs its own subsection.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I say, okay, inside if. So this P, okay, has a space here. Now this does not have, so this is part of main. Now when I run here, our grade is 63. That's why congratulations and inside if is printed. Now, if I change the value, okay, so that average is less than 60. So in this case, you see, average is 51. If average is 51, and when you come here, this becomes false. Is average greater than or equal to 60? No. Average is 51.
False.
51
Yes,
is less than 60. This becomes false. It will not go inside if block, and it will come directly to the main line. So we are controlling the execution. Okay, based on the value of average, only line number 68 and 69 will be executed. Okay, if condition is false, 68, 69 will not be executed. If it is true, if condition is true, that means average is more than 60, well, then your line 68 and 69 will be executed. Okay. See here,
Yes.
in this case, average is false, condition is false. So these two lines, which is inside if, is not printed. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
One
sir.
more thing you have to keep in mind is the first line inside the condition, subsection, right? Subsection or inside if condition. First line, you have choice of giving any number of spaces. You can give one space, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 100. Nobody is going to ask you. First line, you have a choice. But all the other lines should carry same number of spaces. I cannot do like this. Then this will throw me error. Okay. Okay. So if I want to give so many spaces, here too, I need to give so many spaces. Okay, now you see, you will not have any error. Okay, so first line, you have your choice. How many spaces you want to give? You can give 1, 4, 6, 10, 100, whatever. But once you're done with the first line, next line, you cannot, okay, give the spaces of your choice. You have to give same number of spaces. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Generally, what we do is we hit tab. Okay, one space may not sometimes look
Yes.
sufficient number of space. So more than one, but instead of typing 2-3 times, you type tab. Tab is good number, right? So tab generally by default it has 4 spaces, but you can change the settings. Okay, so it's better to give tab. So you'll hear people giving tab space. But when one is good, okay, and whatever number of spaces you give for the first line, same number of spaces you have to give for second line.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when you have one condition to check, here I'm checking only one condition. Okay, if more than 60, I will say congratulations. If it is less than 60, I don't care, right? So don't care, you don't want to do anything, that's fine. So when you have only one condition, you will put average greater than equal to 60. If condition and colon, that's all you have to write if condition and colon, if condition colon, if condition colon, if condition colon, and if the condition is true, you will go inside if. Okay, now we'll take example of where I need 2 conditions. If it is more than 40, I want to say you have passed. If less than 40, I want to say you have failed. 2 conditions, more than 40 and less than 40. Okay, so here, okay, using, I can write multiple ifs. So I can say if AVG less than 40, print you have failed. Okay. If AVG greater than print you have passed. Okay, so if average less than 40, you have failed. If average greater than equal to 60, you have passed. Okay, so in this case, you will get you have passed. Okay, because it's 51. Now you see, these 2 conditions are complementary. More than 40, less than 40. So we can replace them with if value which has 2 faces. So here 3 ifs, all 3 are different. This is different, this is different, this is different. We can combine these 2 as one if block. So here we use if else. If AVG less than 40, print you have failed, else print you have passed. Okay, see here, I have introduced new concept called else. Else is like friend of if. Okay, they are friend. Okay, so they're together, always come together. If you have more than one condition, else will come automatically. Okay, the advantage of using else over these 2 is here, if this will be checked, if this is true, it will go inside. Then again here it will check. If it is false, it will not go inside. But in this case, if it is false, only it will check else. If it is true, right, it will print you have failed and it will go to the next part. It will not execute else part. So you are saving time. Program will be faster. You are checking one less condition, isn't it? So that's why it is better to use if else. If this condition is false, it will go to else. Otherwise, that will never ever go to else. Whichever condition made is correct, it will stop there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you have two conditions, okay, you will have, if and else. What if you have more than two conditions? Okay, the two conditions can be if else, and then what we use elif. Okay, before that, I wanted to give an assignment, or I wanted to do a program now. Okay, same program that you have done. Modify, okay, the area perimeter program. Okay, modify the area perimeter program to check if length and or, okay, not and or, breadth is 0, or it is less than 1, or less than equal to 0. Okay, so let's say if you give a length as 0 or -5, it should print invalid area, invalid rectangle. Okay, then print invalid rectangle. Okay, else calculate. Modify the same, use the same program, modify it. Okay, let's do it. You have 10 minutes, you have 7 minutes to do it. Any question here?
No, sir.
Okay, great. Let's try to do this. Okay, so let me do it. Okay, I'm going to take same example here. Okay, so I'll check if length is less than equal to, okay, if length is less than equal to 0, I'll say print invalid, okay, rectangle. Okay, and then else you can do all this. Okay, so length is less than 0, you say invalid rectangle, else this.
Sir?
Yes.
Directly there only we can add another statement also, no, sir. If length equals to 0.
Did I say finished? Just watch me. That's what I'm saying. Go with me. Don't jump.
Okay, sir.
Let's go step by step.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you see here. If length is not less than 0, you get all these things, right?
Yes.
1. Now, okay, I have to check for breadth also, not only length, right? So one option is, okay, I put third condition, elif breadth, okay, less than equal to 0. I'll say print invalid rectangle. Okay, so what happens? First, it will come to line of 44. After 43, it will check. Now, let's say in this case, our case, length is 50, but breadth is 0 or -7. So if length is less than equal to 0, this condition is false. If this is false, it will not go here and it will go to the next part of if. Okay, now it's going to check for breadth value. Yes, breadth is less than 0. Condition is true. it will print invalid rectangle and it will go back here directly to 57. It will not run 49 to 53. Now, advantage of doing this way is that you can give a customized message, invalid rectangle with invalid length. Okay, invalid rectangle with invalid breadth. Okay, so I'm checking length separately, breadth separately, and then I'm checking else. Okay, this is one way. Second way is I'll check length and breadth together. So we just discussed logical operators. So we will say length. So here I'm saying if length is less than 0 and breadth is less than 0. So this is one condition and this is another condition. Condition 1 and condition 2 both, okay, if one of them is false, entire thing will be false, isn't it? That's why I'm using and. Okay, if length is less than 0 or breadth is less than 0, okay, it will become false, isn't it? And I can say invalid rectangle with invalid sides. Okay, something like that. Else I can perform like this. Third option is when you can have, okay, conditions inside condition. Okay, for example, I'll take same example, this one. Okay, and I'm saying if length is greater than, let's say for example, I use okay, okay, or less than, let's do with less than, then we'll see greater than. So if length is less than 0, I print this. Okay, next is else. So if length is less than 0, it will print this value. Otherwise, it will go inside else. Here, before I do all this logic, I can check again if breadth is less than equal to 0. If yes, I'll say print invalid or whatever, right? And then I'll say else. Now you see here, this is an example of nested if. Conditions inside condition. So this is the outermost if. This condition is checked. If this condition is false, it will go to else. When will this condition be false? When length is valid, okay, length is more than 0. So it will come to else. In else again, it will execute the first line, which is again a condition. If this condition is true, it will go here invalid and program will stop, right? Because else will not get executed if this is true. Now, if this is also false, when we have valid length and breadth, let's say I put, okay, 50 and 7. So in this case, our second if condition, this less than 0, okay, will be false. It will come to else. This will again be less than 0, false. So it will come to else and it will execute all these lines. Okay. Now, if you see here, this if is inside else. So this if will be called only when else is called. That means if it is false, else will be called. And the first line is again if. So again, the condition is checked. And this print is inside this if. So this print has to be inside this I, right? Sub condition, sub text. Okay, similarly, these lines are inside else, sub, right? This else is inside this else, okay, and this text is inside this else. So that's why we have to give, you know, space here. Okay, now you tell me. Okay, let's go one by one. This is the first if condition I wrote. Okay, is it okay? Any questions here? I'll give you a minute to read through this.
There in 46th line, ELIF is there, no, sir?
Yes. So elif, okay. We have to check elif, else if. It's called else if, but we call it elif. Okay.
Okay.
So it means that it's a combination of else and if. Elif is a combination of else and if.
Is it same as using another if, sir?
Same as using another if along with first main if, not independent. Okay, this is not as if like we did before earlier.
Yes.
This is like using if inside a if. So if you have more than two conditions, see, if you have one condition, we use only if. That's what we see. Congratulations. If you have one condition to check, you use if. If you have two conditions to check, okay, you use else if, like this we did. If and else.
Yeah.
If and else, if and else. But if you have more than two conditions to check, if you have more than two conditions to check, we use elif. So if you have 5 conditions to check, your first is if, last is else, and in between all 3 are elif.
Okay.
So sir, which one do you prefer the most? Like, which one should we use the most?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Let's first understand, then we'll talk about it. Okay. Any question here?
No, sir.
The conditions to be true.
So, sir, for this, the third one, I'm getting it as this, the length of, I'm getting it as the actual, like, the length and the breadth, if I do it.
That is it.
No, I didn't get you. What you're trying to say.
So when you did the length, the third one with the length and length of this and breadth of this is equal to this, and then we did the whole code, it's showing me, I put in the breadth as -7 and the length as 50, and it's showing me the area of -350 and the perimeter of 86.
Okay. So it is because, okay, when you put and, okay, when does this condition becomes true? If both are true, only then it becomes true, isn't it? So if you have negative length and negative breadth, that's when you will get invalid rectangle with sides. If you put one of them as valid, it becomes false, right? Because true and false will be false, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's it.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
If one of the condition is true, another is false, what do you get entire condition as?
We get it as false.
False. So it will not go inside if, it will go to else, isn't it? So if both of your conditions are negative or invalid, you have to say or, not and.
Okay, but one of my conditions is valid and the other one is invalid.
That's what I'm saying. If one condition is valid, true and false will be false, isn't it? When it is false, it will not go inside it. It will go to else. Right?
Okay.
That's why you're getting negative area. Okay. So if you replace and with or, then it will check either condition, right? Either or both. So, okay, you make it or, then it will catch. It will go to thing. If has to be true. If is true, only then it will go inside if. In your case, it is becoming false because one condition is wrong, other is correct. So true and false is becoming false. So that's why if is not getting executed. It goes to else.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, yeah.
Right? Yeah. So see here, we have seen if else, we have seen nested if else, if inside else, and we have also seen elif, how elif works, right? If you see the which one? The first one here, right? So first one has elif. So if you want to check multiple conditions, so first and last, okay, first is if, last is else. In between, we have to write elif, right? So now if you compare this with the average example, average and grade, we need 4 conditions there, isn't it? So first is if, last will be else, in between you will have elif. So can you try the other one, assigning grade based on average? So manually you say average equal to some value, right? Average equal to 52. And then you write those conditions. Your focus is on writing the conditions, right? So write the conditions then.
Okay, so what we have to put in all 4 of the grades, and then like 90 is
right, this one, yeah. So you say average equal to, right? Manually say average equal to 50 or 80. You can give different values and check your program.
Okay.
Before we wrap up for the day, okay, we'll answer what Dhanit asked, right? Like which method, right? You can do same program in multiple ways, right? But how do you know which program or which is the better way, right? I'm not a right way, right? But which is better, which is preferred way. So what we do is we measure the efficiency of the program. Efficiency means the one that takes less number of memory space, okay, and also is faster to execute. Okay, so here anyway all the variables are same, so we will not have concern about space. Okay, what matters is, okay, how much time it will take to execute. Okay, let's go and check. Now when you say time, okay, depending upon your input value, the time depends, isn't it? So okay, let's say if you have all valid input like 50 and 7, okay, so in this case, let's say to execute each condition on each line takes 1 second. Okay, it will take very less time, but for our counting sake, let's say that it takes 1 second to execute each line. So if you have 50 and 7, okay, this condition is checked. If length is less than 0, condition is what? False. So it will go to this cells. But it checked here, so the time taken here would be 1 second. Now it checks here. Okay, it takes again 1 second, and now it comes to else, right? And let's 1, 2, 3. So total time taken here would be 5 seconds. If both are valid, okay, it takes 5 seconds to execute. Now coming to second part here, okay, this is again 1 second. This is your, you go to else, so it will check here. This is again 1 more second and goes here, 3 seconds. So this will also take 5 seconds. Correct? Now coming to third example, again one condition and another condition. Okay, so there are two conditions here, so 2 seconds. And then both are false, will go. That means if the data are valid, both the values are valid, okay, all three will take 5 seconds and all three are, okay, better way of doing program. But what happens, let's say if length is valid, but breadth is not valid. Okay, so I'm saying length is valid and breadth is not valid. So it comes here, okay, length is valid, so it comes here. Breadth is, okay, invalid. So this will be true. So it takes 2 seconds to tell you that program is invalid and you can't execute. Okay, 2 seconds. In this case, it checks here, okay, and it will take 1 second and goes to else, checks here, another 1 second. So within 2 seconds, you know that breadth is, I mean, this length is, rectangle is invalid. So both the logic took 2 seconds. Now here, 1 second, and this is second, 2 seconds. So here also it took 2 seconds to check. So if length is valid, breadth is invalid, all three took 2 seconds. So again, there is no difference between them. Now what happens if I take breadth as 7, length as -5? It comes here, within 1 second you come to know that it is invalid. So it took 1 second to execute, right? It comes here, okay, again, length is less than 0. So it took 1 second to validate, right? So, okay, if length is invalid, okay, both the program took 1 second. Now what happens to the third program? Since we have written AND here, it is going to check both the conditions and perform AND, isn't it? So even though length is invalid, it is checking length and breadth. So it is taking 2 seconds. Okay, so it took 2 seconds. So if you see, compare, and we have compared valid, one valid, another invalid, right? Now you check, both are invalid. So if you see, generally, we don't prefer and. That's the reason why. Okay, even if condition is false, we still have to check the second condition. So we saw if length is invalid and breadth is invalid, okay, or invalid. Okay, if it is invalid, all the three will take same time. But if length is invalid and breadth is valid, okay, this will take 2 seconds anyway, and others are taking only 1 second, right? So this is not so preferred. Of course, I mean, this is a small program, but if you have multiple programs, it can have multiple impact. If you put and, right? So irrespective of whatever it is, it's going to check all the conditions, right? So that's why and is not generally preferred. Okay, we prefer the first two options. So this is what I told you is a rough way to calculate. There are different ways, okay, to do that. But for now, this is good enough. You know that the program that takes less time to execute and less time to execute and less space, memory space is better. And this is how you can actually calculate how much time it takes. The first two is what we generally prefer compared to third type of program. Did I answer you? Okay. So we'll stop here, everyone. Okay. Yeah, if you have not done if you have done it, great. If you have not done it, please do it. And tomorrow we will talk about it. We'll,
Yes, sir.
We'll talk about the loops again tomorrow.
Yes, sir.